Welcome back to another transformation experiment. Today I'm sharing the results of what might be the simplest yet most powerful health change I've ever made. 30 days ago, I decided to try something that seemed almost too easy to work. I stopped eating after 6 p.m. No late dinners, no midnight snacks, no just one bite of dessert while watching Netflix. Nothing but water and herbal tea after 6 o'clock. Now, I know what you're thinking, that sounds like torture, or I could never do that. Trust me, I thought the same thing. I was the queen of late-night eating. I'd have dinner around 7 or 8, then find myself back in the kitchen at 10 p.m. looking for something sweet. Then again at midnight for just a small snack. But here's the thing. I wasn't eating late because I was hungry. I was eating out of habit, boredom, stress, or just because the food was there. And it was affecting everything. My sleep, my energy, my weight, my digestion, even my mood. So I decided to document a full 30-day experiment. Every day, I tracked my weight, took progress photos, monitored my energy levels, sleep quality, and mood. I recorded my cravings, my struggles, and every single benefit I noticed along the way. The results absolutely blew my mind, and I think they're going to shock you too. But before we dive into what happened, let me be clear about a few things. First, this isn't medical advice. I'm just sharing my personal experience. If you have any health conditions or eating disorders, please consult with a healthcare provider before making any changes to your eating schedule. Second, this isn't about starvation or extreme restriction. I ate the same amount of food, just in a different time window. This is about timing, not deprivation. And third, I'm going to share the real unfiltered truth. The good days, the hard days, the moments I wanted to quit, and the surprising discoveries that changed how I think about food and eating. Alright, let's start with exactly what I did and why I chose 6 p.m. as my cutoff time. The simple rule I followed, 3:15 to 5:45. The rule was incredibly simple. No food or caloric beverages after 6 p.m. That's it. Here's what I could have after 6 p.m. Water as much as I wanted. Herbal teas with no added sweeteners, black coffee, though I rarely drink coffee after 2 p.m. anyway. A sugar-free gum if I really needed it. Here's what was off limits after 6 p.m. Any solid food, smoothies or protein shakes, anything with calories. No cream in tea, no diet drinks with artificial sweeteners or alcohol, which I rarely drink anyway. Even healthy snacks like fruit or nuts. Why did I choose 6 p.m. specifically? Well, there's actually science behind this timing. Our metabolism naturally slows down in the evening as our bodies prepare for sleep. Insulin sensitivity also decreases throughout the day, meaning our bodies don't process carbohydrates as efficiently in the evening. Plus, 6 p.m. gave me a solid 4 to 5 hours before my usual bedtime, which research shows is optimal for digestion and sleep quality. Eating too close to bedtime can disrupt sleep patterns and interfere with the body's natural overnight repair and detox processes. My typical eating schedule became 7 a.m., breakfast 12 p.m., lunch 3 p.m., small snack if needed 5:30 p.m., early dinner 6 p.m., kitchen closed for the night. Now, I'll be honest, this required some major adjustments to my social life and daily routine. I had to eat dinner earlier, decline late dinner invitations or suggest earlier times, and completely change my evening habits. But here's what made it work. I focused on what I could do instead of what I couldn't. After 6 p.m. became my time for reading, taking baths, doing yoga, calling friends, working on hobbies, or just relaxing without the constant thought of, what should I eat? Let me walk you through exactly what happened week by week, starting with the brutal first week. Week 1. The hardest part, honest struggles, 5:45 to 9:20. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, the first week was tough. Not physically tough, because I wasn't actually hungry most of the time. It was mentally and emotionally challenging because I realized just how much of my evening routine revolved around food. Day 1 started great. I was motivated and excited. I ate a satisfying dinner at 5:45 p.m. and felt proud of myself for sticking to the plan. But around 9 p.m., I found myself standing in front of the refrigerator out of pure habit. I wasn't hungry. I was just used to eating something while watching TV. Day 2 was when the real challenge hit. I went to a friend's house for movie night, and everyone was ordering pizza at 8 p.m. This was my first test, and I almost caved. Instead, I brought herbal tea and explained what I was doing. My friends were actually super supportive, but it was hard watching everyone eat while I sipped my chamomile tea. Days 3 to 4 were the cravings days. Around 8 to 9 p.m. each night, I experienced what I can only describe as psychological hunger. My stomach wasn't rumbling, but my brain was screaming for food. I realized this was pure habit. My body was used to getting food at these times, so it was sending signals even when I didn't actually need fuel. Day 5 was my breaking point. I had a stressful day at work, and stress eating was my usual coping mechanism. I found myself opening the pantry at 10 p.m., holding a bag of chips, almost ready to give up on the whole experiment. But instead, I made a cup of peppermint tea and called my sister to talk through my stress. That night, I learned that food had been my primary emotional regulation tool, and I needed to develop new coping strategies. Days 6 to 7 were when I started to notice the first positive changes. My sleep was deeper and more restful. I was waking up feeling less bloated and more energized. My morning hunger was more pronounced, which made breakfast more satisfying. By the end of week 1, I had lost 3.8 pounds. But more importantly, I was starting to break the unconscious eating patterns that had controlled my evenings for years. The biggest lesson from week 1: most late-night eating isn't about hunger. It's about habit, emotion, and boredom. Once I recognized this, I could start addressing the real issues instead of just feeding them. Week 2. When everything changed, 9:20 to 12:10. Week 2 is when the magic started happening. My body had adjusted to the new eating schedule, and the benefits were becoming undeniable. Sleep quality revolution. This was the most dramatic change. I was falling asleep faster, sleeping more deeply, and waking up naturally before my alarm. I tracked my sleep with my smartwatch, and my deep sleep percentage increased from an average of 18% to 28%. I was getting the same amount of sleep but feeling significantly more rested. Morning energy explosion. I've always been a slow morning starter, needing coffee and at least an hour to feel human. But during week 2, I was bouncing out of bed with natural energy. My morning workouts felt easier, my mind was clearer, and I was actually looking forward to starting my day. Digestive system reset. The bloating that I thought was just normal completely disappeared. My stomach felt flatter, my digestion was more regular, and I wasn't experiencing the afternoon energy crashes that usually hit me around 3 p.m. Mental clarity. This was unexpected but amazing. My evening mental fog lifted completely. Instead of feeling sluggish and tired after dinner, I was alert and productive. I started using my evening hours for creative projects, reading, and activities I'd been too tired for before. By day 10, something clicked. I stopped thinking about food after 6 p.m. It wasn't a struggle anymore. It just became my new normal. The cravings that had been so intense in week 1 were almost completely gone. Social life adjustments. I started suggesting earlier dinner times with friends, which actually worked better for everyone. We had more energy for conversation, and meals didn't drag on as long. I discovered that some of my favorite restaurants offered early bird specials that I'd never tried before. Relationship with food. This was profound. I started eating more mindfully during my allowed eating hours. Since I knew I had a cutoff time, I made sure my dinner was satisfying and nutritious. I wasn't just grabbing whatever was convenient. I was actually planning and enjoying my meals more. By the end of week 2, I was down 7.2 pounds total, but the non-scale victories were even more impressive. I felt like I had found a sustainable rhythm that worked with my body instead of against it. Week 3. Unexpected benefits, 12:10 to 15:30. Week 3 brought benefits I never expected when I started this experiment. Time liberation. This might sound silly, but I gained so much time. I wasn't spending 30 to 45 minutes every evening preparing snacks, eating, and cleaning up. Those extra hours went toward hobbies, self-care, and meaningful activities. I started reading again, took up evening walks, and even began learning a new language. Financial savings. I calculated that I was saving about $40 to $50 per week by not buying evening snacks, late-night takeout, or impulse food purchases. Over the month, that added up to significant savings. Skin improvements. By day 15, people started commenting on how clear and bright my skin looked. I researched this and learned that late-night eating can disrupt the body's natural detox processes that happen during sleep. Giving my digestive system a break allowed my body to focus on repair and regeneration. Mood stability. My evening mood became much more stable. I wasn't experiencing the blood sugar spikes and crashes that came from late-night eating. My stress levels were lower, and I felt more emotionally balanced overall. Workout performance. My morning workouts became significantly better. I was lifting heavier, running longer, and recovering faster. I realized that eating late had been affecting my sleep quality, which in turn impacted my exercise performance. Autophagy benefits. This is where the science gets really interesting. When we fast for 12+ hours, our bodies enter a process called autophagy, where cells clean out damaged components and regenerate. I could feel this happening: increased mental clarity, better energy, and a general sense of cellular renewal. Breaking food obsession. Perhaps the most liberating change was that I stopped thinking about food constantly. Before this experiment, I was always planning my next meal or snack. Now, I ate during my eating window and then moved on with my life. Food became fuel and pleasure rather than an obsession. The social benefits were huge too. Instead of bonding with friends over late-night food, we found other activities: evening walks, early morning coffee dates, afternoon lunches. My relationships actually became more varied and interesting. By the end of week 3, I was down 11.1 pounds, but more importantly, I felt like I had discovered a sustainable lifestyle change rather than just a temporary diet. Week 4. Final results plus measurements, 15:30 to 18:45. The final week was incredible. Everything that had been building over the previous 3 weeks culminated in results that honestly shocked me. Final physical results: a weight loss, 15.2 pounds total, a waist measurement, lost 4.1 inches a hip measurement, lost 2.8 inches body fat percentage, decreased from 26% to 22% muscle mass, actually increased by 0.8 pounds, thanks to better recovery and workout performance. Sleep quality metrics. At average sleep score, improved from 74 to 91 out of 100. Deep sleep. Increased from 18% to 32% of total sleepy time to fall asleep. Decreased from 25 minutes to 8 minutes a night wakings. Reduced from 3 to 4 times to 0 to 1 times per night energy and mood tracking. The morning energy, 1 to 10 scale, improved from average 4.2 to 8.7. Or afternoon energy, improved from 5.1 to 8.2. Evening energy, improved from 3.8 to 7.9. Overall mood, increased from 6.1 to 8.8. Stress levels, decreased from 7.2 to 4.1. Digestive health. Bloating, reduced by approximately 80%. Digestive regularity, significantly improved a heartburn/acid reflux. Completely eliminated morning appetite. Much stronger and more consistent cognitive function. A mental clarity, dramatically improved, especially in evenings. Focus duration, increased from 45 minutes to 90+ minutes. Memory, noticeably sharper. Decision fatigue, significantly reduced. Lifestyle benefits. Time savings, 5 to 7 hours per week. A money savings, $180 for the month. A social life, more varied and interesting activities. Evening productivity, increased by approximately 200%. But beyond all the numbers, the most significant change was psychological. I felt in control of my eating for the first time in years. I wasn't a slave to cravings or emotional eating patterns. I had discovered that I could enjoy food during appropriate times and then simply move on with my life. The transformation photos were dramatic. My face looked leaner and more defined, my stomach was noticeably flatter, and I was carrying myself with more confidence. But what people commented on most was how energetic and vibrant I seemed. By day 30, this wasn't feeling like a challenge anymore. It was just how I lived. The idea of eating after 6 p.m. actually seemed unappealing because I knew how much better I felt when I didn't. The science behind why this works, 1845 to 2210. Now let me explain exactly why this simple change created such dramatic results, because understanding the science makes it easier to stick with and believe in. Circadian rhythm optimization. Our bodies run on internal clocks called circadian rhythms. These rhythms control when we produce certain hormones, when our body temperature rises and falls, and when our digestive system is most active. Eating late disrupts these natural rhythms. When we eat close to bedtime, our body has to divert energy to digestion when it should be focusing on repair, detox, and recovery. By stopping food intake by 6 p.m., I was working with my body's natural schedule instead of against it. Insulin sensitivity and blood sugar. Our insulin sensitivity naturally decreases throughout the day. This means our bodies don't process carbohydrates as efficiently in the evening. Late-night eating can lead to higher blood sugar levels and increased fat storage. By eating earlier, I was consuming my food when my body was best equipped to process it efficiently. This led to more stable blood sugar levels, better energy throughout the day, and reduced fat storage. Sleep quality and growth hormone. When we eat close to bedtime, our body temperature stays elevated, which interferes with the natural temperature drop needed for deep sleep. Additionally, digestion requires energy and blood flow that should be directed toward recovery processes during sleep. By fasting for several hours before bed, my body could focus on producing growth hormone, which is crucial for fat burning, muscle recovery, and cellular repair. This is why my workout performance improved so dramatically. Autophagy and cellular renewal. After about 12 to 14 hours of fasting, our bodies enter autophagy, a process where cells clean out damaged components and regenerate. This is like a cellular housekeeping process that can only happen when we're not constantly digesting food. The mental clarity, skin improvements, and overall sense of vitality I experienced were likely due to enhanced autophagy. My cells were getting the chance to repair and renew themselves. Metabolic flexibility. When we constantly eat throughout the day, our bodies become dependent on glucose for fuel. By creating a longer fasting period, I was training my body to efficiently burn stored fat for energy. This metabolic flexibility is why I experienced such stable energy levels throughout the day. Instead of riding the blood sugar roller coaster, my body could seamlessly switch between fuel sources. Psychological and behavioral benefits. Late-night eating is often driven by habit, boredom, or emotional triggers rather than true hunger. By creating a clear boundary, I was forced to develop new coping mechanisms and evening routines. This led to better stress management, more productive evening hours, and a healthier relationship with food overall. I learned to distinguish between true hunger and psychological cravings. Digestive system rest. Our digestive system needs time to rest and repair, just like any other system in our body. Constantly eating keeps our digestive organs working overtime, which can lead to inflammation, poor nutrient absorption, and digestive issues. By giving my digestive system a 14-hour break every night, I allowed it to heal and function more efficiently. This is why my bloating disappeared and my digestion became so regular. How to start this tomorrow, 22-10-25:20. Ready to try this for yourself? Here's exactly how to set yourself up for success. Phase 1. Preparation. Do this today. 1. Choose your cutoff time. Start with 7 p.m. if 6 p.m. feels too early. Then gradually move it earlier. 2. Plan your last meal. Make sure it's satisfying with adequate protein, healthy fats, and fiber. 3. Stock up on herbal teas. Get 4 to 5 different flavors to keep evening drinks interesting. 4. Clear evening trigger foods. Remove easy-to-grab snacks from visible areas. 5. Plan new evening activities. List 10 things you can do instead of eating. Phase 2. Week 1 strategy. Eat a larger, more satisfying dinner. Don't try to eat less, just eat earlier. Stay busy after your cutoff. Plan engaging activities for the first few hours. Track your why. Write down why you're doing this and read it when cravings hit, or prepare for social situations. Have a plan for dinner invitations and social eating. Focus on sleep. Use this as an opportunity to improve your sleep routine. Phase 3. Building the habit to track your progress. Weight, energy, sleep, mood, whatever matters to you. Adjust meal timing. You might need to eat lunch later or add an afternoon snack to handle cravings. Have a list of non-food activities ready for when cravings hit. Plan social eating. Suggest earlier dinner times or focus on lunch/brunch socializing. Be consistent. Aim for 6 to 7 days per week. Perfection isn't required. Common challenges and solutions. I'm hungry at night. Make sure your dinner has adequate protein and fiber. Drink more water throughout the day. Thirst often masquerades as hunger. Try herbal tea with naturally sweet flavors like cinnamon or vanilla. My family/partner eats late, or eat with them. Then have herbal tea while they finished. Prepare your portion and eat it earlier. Then join them for socializing. Gradually influence the household toward earlier eating times. I have social commitments. Suggest earlier dinner times when possible. Eat a small meal before going out, then order something light. A focus on the social aspect rather than the food. I work late. Pack a satisfying dinner to eat before 6 p.m. at work. To meal prep on weekends so dinner is ready quickly when you get home. Consider adjusting your work schedule if possible to allow for earlier eating. Common mistakes to avoid based on my experience and research. Here are the biggest mistakes people make when trying this approach. Mistake number 1. Not eating enough during eating hours. Don't try to create a massive calorie deficit by both restricting timing and amount. Eat satisfying, nutritious meals during your eating window. The timing change alone will create benefits. Mistake number 2. Choosing too early a cutoff time initially. If you normally eat dinner at 8 p.m., jumping straight to 6 p.m. might be too aggressive. Start with 7 p.m. for the first week, then gradually move it earlier. Mistake number 3. Not planning alternative evening activities. If you don't replace eating with other activities, you'll be sitting around thinking about food. Plan engaging, enjoyable activities for your evening hours. Mistake number 4. Being all or nothing. If you slip up one night, don't throw in the towel. Just get back to it the next day. Aim for consistency, not perfection. Mistake number 5. Ignoring social and family needs. This approach needs to work with your life, not against it. Be flexible with timing for special occasions, but return to your routine the next day. Mistake number 6. Not staying properly hydrated. Many evening cravings are actually thirst. Drink plenty of water throughout the day and especially in the evening. Mistake number 7. Focusing only on weight loss. While weight loss might happen, focus on the other benefits. Better sleep, more energy, improved digestion. This makes the habit more sustainable long-term. My personal tips for success. 1. Start on a weekend when you have more control over your schedule. 2. Tell supportive friends and family what you're doing so they can help. 3. Document your journey with photos, measurements, or journaling. 4. Focus on how you feel rather than just what the scale says. 5. Be patient. Some benefits appear immediately, others take 2 to 3 weeks. 6. Make it enjoyable. Use beautiful cups for your herbal tea. Create cozy evening routines. This 30-day experiment taught me that sometimes the simplest changes create the most profound results. I didn't count calories, eliminate food groups, or follow a complicated protocol. I just stopped eating after 6 p.m. The weight loss was amazing, but the energy, sleep quality, mental clarity, and improved relationship with food were even more valuable. This isn't just about looking better. It's about feeling incredible and optimizing how your body functions. If you're ready to try this, commit to just 7 days initially. Don't overwhelm yourself with a 30-day commitment right away. See how you feel after 1 week, then decide if you want to continue. Remember, this isn't about perfection or punishment. It's about working with your body's natural rhythms and discovering what happens when you give your digestive system the rest it needs. Comment below with 6 p.m. challenge if you're ready to start tomorrow. I'll be reading every comment and cheering you on. Let's do this together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I'll be sharing the advanced strategies I use to make this lifestyle change permanent. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Until next time, remember, your best health is just one simple change away.